Hi, and welcome to the Fifers. I'm Rocky, that's Gilly, Walt, Lil Tate, and Thumper. And we're doing the Super Bowl party, the food party 2025 today. And we're going to talk about food and other things. And who would like to start?
Well, we can start with well, we can start by all right. Does everybody know who played in the first Super Bowl?
Nope.
Green
No clue.
Bay Chiefs, 1967. And the Chiefs lost 35 to 10.
35-10. Woo! I wonder what today's score is going to be.
But now there's talk since the Chiefs are going for a three-peat, right? First team in
Yeah.
NFL history to do that, right? Well, there's some naysayers that the Chiefs ain't the first ones to ever do it, but they forget that's before the NFL merged that the Green Bay Packers actually did with 3 or 4 in a row. You know, they won 65, 66, and then the first Super Bowl came about in 67. So they forget about when the AFL, before the AFL and NFL merged. Yeah, technically they're right, technically they're wrong. All that. Because since the NFL's merged, the Chiefs will be the first team in history to do it. There's been a lot of teams trying it. The Steelers, some of the greats. The Steelers back in the 70s, Dallas Cowboys, Montana with 49ers, all of them. And Patriots, they all failed. So I'm hoping today my Chiefs can bring it home. So
What is it? Isn't the Browns the only one that's like never won a Super Bowl or like never been?
I'm not sure, but you're probably right.
I mean, I know the last 20 years they get first round draft picks like the Detroit Lions did because they lost so many.
Well,
It's
let
like
me
you
see
just
if I can pull that up.
round draft picks.
It looks
All
like the
right,
Browns, Detroit Lions, and Jacksonville Jaguars and Houston Texans.
well,
Well, the Texans are new though; they're not that
here's
old.
the whole list right here. On it. Minnesota Vikings, Atlanta Falcons, Panthers, the Bengals, Arizona Cardinals, Chargers, which that does surprise me right there, Chargers.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Well, Detroit Lions, of course, the Browns, Titans, Tennessee, and Jaguars, and of course, the Buffalo Bills.
Poor bastards, man.
Dude, they went the
Those are
four
all the
fucking
ones that have
straight.
never been to the Super Bowl, right?
They
No,
didn't.
these
They
ones never won. They're teams without Super Bowls.
yeah, they
I
went
thought there,
times in
I
a row.
thought there was 4 that have never been to the Super Bowl. So
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, the Bills went because they had that three, man. They had that three-peat of losing. They're like, how the fuck do you make it to the Super Bowl if you can't win the motherfucker?
Well, and that's where they had a damn good team with Jim Kelly, all those guys.
Yeah, they're coming back. I mean,
Yeah.
look at this season, the season prior. They're getting back to their roots. I mean, the Steelers are looking good too.
But they can't just get past the Chiefs. They may beat us in the regular season, right? But they can't beat us in the postseason.
Come on,
There's a saying out there: you can dislike the Chiefs, you can hate the Chiefs, you can disrespect the Chiefs, but you're gonna have to deal with the motherfuckers. That's
it's like
all
the
point.
Patriots and the Steelers back in the day, or the Ravens too.
Well, same way with Tom Brady and the Patriots, right?
Yeah,
I'm loving the fact that we are the fucking villains now of the NFL. You know, my dad got to see the first Super Bowl win from them, right? I went all those years wonder if we're ever going to make it past the AFC Championship, right? Because we had to get past the Raiders at that time, the Broncos, you know. And now River gets to witness fucking Super Bowls with me, and I'm loving this shit right here.
yeah.
And there's everybody out there right now. Oh, it's scripted. They paid refs. I'll shut the fuck up, motherfucker. If your team was winning like this, you wouldn't be saying that shit.
I just saw another one, Gilly. It said that the Chiefs are going to win and that Kelsey's going to propose to fucking Taylor Swift and then announce his retirement right afterwards.
And then after he met with Trump and it started that whole fight, Taylor was all mad at him because he was like, "Oh, I'm going to meet up with Trump," and she's like, "No, you're not."
you know, when when Kelsey started dating fucking Swift, right? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, this is all we fucking need right here. I was like, God damn it.
I guess she needed more spotlight time, man. She's like, well, if I get on the Chiefs bandwagon with somebody, look at me.
Well,
That's all it is.
And he did
That's all
pursue her.
it is.
He did go after her at the concert he went to in Kansas City of hers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted her. I mean, he got her. Okay. Props to you. Oh,
that's all right. We'll piss off the Swifties with this one. I mean, fucking lizard, long arms, like freaky looking body. I don't know. She's got some weird proportions.
My kids don't even like her.
I didn't like her when she first came up in country music, right? I didn't like her music then.
Nope.
I never listened to her, to be honest.
Well,
I
honestly,
never cared to, but I would see memes where they would make fun of her, saying that she wrote songs about how men did her wrong, but then they're like, "Hold my beer." There's Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac, you know. And Fleetwood
See,
Mac
a lot of people
better.
forget this. The person that brought her into the music business, especially country, was Toby Keith.
Ooh, really?
So and when he died, right? They were pissed off. Everybody in the country music was pissed off that she did not give him props. You know, say anything about bringing her up into the music business, right? And oh yeah.
Well, that's because she thinks that she's untouchable, and I'm sorry, but all of her music sucks because it's all about all of her every single failed relationship she's ever been in, which the common denominator in that is her. So
yeah, exactly. it's songs about refusing to take accountability.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you're not like her body count, like that.
Nope.
She's actually singing about her body count. Everybody's like, "Yeah, let's go with the body count." Woo!
It makes so much sense why she endorsed Kamala.
Yeah, because she's not. I don't think she'll be able to hang on to a relationship with any guy, especially if he's smart. If he's smart.
I think the one that they're in right now is all a farce, and it's all for publicity.
You're probably right.
Because if you look at it, football they haven't had the best track record as far as keeping their audience, right? You had them kneeling and all that during national anthems and everything. Viewership dropped. You've had a lot of scandals in the past, and I think that their two publicists got together and said, hey, if they say they're in a relationship, it's going to bring a whole different demographic of audience to football, because all of the Swifties are going to want to see her at the game. And if you look, once it was announced that they were dating, it skyrocketed how many people were watching their games. It's so weird to me.
And the thing with that is, right, see, Chiefs Kingdom didn't need any help, because us as true fans, dude, we've been loyal to the team. You know, even when they wasn't winning championships, dude, Arrowhead was fucking sold out every fucking game.
That's how Wrigley is for baseball. You know, that's how Wrigley is. But the thing is if you look at their viewership, nationwide TV and all
nationwide,
that,
nationwide,
it shot way up, and all because they're dating. Who fucking cares? Like,
to me, the worst thing about her and Kelsey dating is the fact that all these chicks out here got these shirts now saying, I'm rooting for fucking Taylor Swift's fucking boyfriend. Motherfucker, he's got a name. Come on now.
That's because they don't know who he is, really.
Yeah.
nor do they actually care. They don't care about sports.
They don't even know what team it is. They're just like, yeah, I think it's a red one. We'll just go watch that one.
Exactly.
That reminds me, did you guys ever see that video of these women in Australia complaining about the football team, the soccer team? And the guy was like, well, do you guys even know who's playing, what their names are? Do you know if they're going to win the World Cup or whatever? And they're like, no. And you're going to sit there and complain about men's sports because it's more interesting?
They did that with the WNBA too. Like, they're like, name 3 teams. They started with name 3 teams in the WNBA, or name 3 women. And the only one they could come out with, because they brought it, was Caitlin Clark, Brittany Griner because of all her news, and like one other girl that was fighting with Caitlin Clark. That was like, they couldn't even name the teams, and they only had 3 people because they were in the news. And
the bad thing about the WNBA, right? dude, if those girls would just embraced Caitlin, Clark, right, coming in, since she was the face of the NBA or the WNBA now, dude, those girls could be breaking in millions if they would just, embrace that shit.
Yeah.
Well, Caitlin Clark is bringing in millions.
No, but I'm saying as a whole, I mean, she got people excited about it.
Yeah.
But all those girls trying to fucking take her out, right? I'm like, no.
I live 35 minutes away from where she played, and so like the University of Iowa is just crazy when she was there. It was like it was weird because like I used to go up to Iowa City a lot. I transferred patients up there in the back of an ambulance, and traffic was like, it wasn't horrible when there was a game, when the men were playing, right? But then when the women played, it was like a ghost town. There was hardly anybody. And now, when they play, it's just like if the men were playing. There's traffic, there's people walking everywhere. It's pretty cool, but at the same time, I have a thing against athletes because they haven't really contributed much and they make millions of dollars and they feel like them and Hollywood and everybody, I guess I'll throw them all into one because nowadays, if you're an NFL player, you're in Hollywood. If you're a basketball player, you're in Hollywood, whatever. And they make millions of dollars and they think that their opinion actually matters to the real problems in the world. And I just kind of stepped away from it. I didn't know who was honestly playing in the Super Bowl until a couple days ago.
See, that's one thing I like about Patrick Mahomes, right? He was asked this year who he's voting for, right? Give an endorsement. He said, no, I'm not going to give an endorsement. Play it simple.
I respect that. Yeah.
I mean, because that's the way he was brought up, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people might not like him, but I can respect him for that right there.
I want to touch base back when we were talking about scripted. There was a lawsuit that came up, and if you look at the NFL at the bottom, it says for entertainment purposes.
Yep.
So everybody that plays in any of the NBA, NFL, NHL, not so much, but any of those two leagues, they're actually paid actors. They're playing in a sport to entertain people. It doesn't matter how you want to walk it down. WWE was the same thing. Vince McMahon said that shit.
God.
When he was going against Ted Turner with WCW, it was like Ted Turner called him and said, "Hey, I'm in the wrestling business." Vince was like, "Cool, I'm in the entertainment business." So when you see these things, you're like, it's all entertainment. It's not like watching college ball or high school ball where they're playing a sport. These guys are entertaining the crowds. So that they are. That's why you see them in Hollywood.
But I don't think it's so scripted, right? Where they like WWE is, right? But I do think the bookies have a big part in it.
Yeah, that might be true.
Because I'm going to share something here.
Yeah.
Y'all remember the Boston College scandal?
Yeah.
1978, 79, right? How the mob, got these kids to fucking skip points right here.
Yeah.
And also the NBA ref, right? Oh, this one right here. Timothy Francis Donahue, right there, would actually make bad calls during the NBA game. And fucking even ESPN 30 for 30 did episodes on them, on those two right there.
Yeah.
I think the bookies, if anything, they're influencing the refs, the players sometimes.
Yeah, sports betting is huge, dude. When you go to Vegas, because I've seen the sports betting, like in Vegas, like the rooms, like it's huge. Like everything you can think of on the screen, from horse racing, whatever's on, dude, they're betting on. You go up there and you can sit down and watch the game. They bring you drinks and you're just watching screen after screen. It's like bigger than a movie theater. And they put two screens together from a movie theater. And that's what these people are watching. That's what they're betting on. So it's huge racket in there.
But I'm just loving how many times the Chiefs this year have fucked up the spread this year with those fucking, comeback wins.
Yeah, the over-unders.
I still think that's why Patrick Mahomes' house, Kelsey's house, got broken into before all the other ones did.
Yeah.
They're like, we want some of our money back.
Well, and I think humans will bet on anything, dude. Like we'll bet on anything. Hell, as kids, man, I remember we'd play quarters. Remember quarters? You like flip it, and you were betting quarters to see who could get close enough to the wall, or
Yeah.
when you bounced it and shit, or playing dice. Like we were betting as kids back in the '80s. Like,
So, I mean, I remember one bet we'd always do. You know how the trains would go through these small towns, right? Dude,
Yeah.
we would put quarters on there, see if we could get them to shoot out. And one time we did get one to shoot out right into a brick building. I mean, right next to us. We're like, oh, fuck, we ain't doing that no more. But we would take bets on that.
yeah, it's like betting's been around for as long as prostitutes have.
Yep.
Now, I will say if the NFL ever comes out, they're scripted like WWE, right? Dude, I'm done watching it. Forget it.
Yeah.
I'll be done.
I don't think it is, but I don't know. I look at entertainment different now, especially now that I'm older. It's a good service that they provide, but I don't think that they deserve as much as they get. I think it should be definitely cut way back.
But that's up to the fans to decide too, because they're the ones paying the fucking those high ticket prices too. That allows those players to be paid.
Yeah. Look.
What's up, Rocky?
I think that it's the old Roman Empire bread and circuses distraction.
Yeah.
But now, with everything that's been going on with Doge, the bread and circuses has to really try hard. And now that Doge is, I guess Elon Musk paid what, $40 billion to make some ads, right? Is that true?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
To talk about that stuff. So I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see. But on another note, what are your guys' favorite recipes for like the Super Bowl? Like, do you guys make anything special or eat anything special like wings or whatever for Super Bowl?
For me, it's always just a random like crapshoot. 1 year I do buffalo chicken dip, or ribs, depending on who's over. Tonight I'm doing ham and cheese roll-ups and a croissant like sheet and pizzas for the kids. We're not having a party. My wife's at work. We got the games on. It's like background noise, and we're gonna cook. And I don't have any traditional recipes.
I always just throw in the little smokies. Do a sweet barbecue sauce with grape jelly. Put it in the slow cooker and turn it on and let it go.
Poor man Swedish meatballs, man. My aunt makes the same thing.
Yep, you gotta have the grape jelly though.
Yes.
The Welch's grape jelly is what makes it. And I normally will use like a Sweet Baby Ray barbecue with it, so it complements pretty well.
You know what's another good barbecue sauce? Jack Daniels.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
I tried it for the first time, right? My wife was making me some birria tacos and a birria quesadilla, and I was like, "Hey, put some of this barbecue sauce on it," because we make
I like that
barbecue
Blue
birria.
Hog.
And man, we usually use like Sweet Baby Ray's, and this thing's like it's like neck and neck with Baby Ray's.
I'll have to throw my recipe. I'll have to throw my recipe for barbecue sauce up on the podcast one of these days.
Yep. But if you like fucking barbecue sauce, Rocky, dude, the Blues Hog World Champion blend.
Yep, that's a good
one. That's what I used last time. I sent y'all a picture of my barbecue chicken smoked pasta, right? Use that. It's fucking good, man. After you use that, you won't want another barbecue sauce.
I got like 3 of their barbecue sauces.
Yeah, I can't have their seasonings because of the milk in them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But their barbecue sauce is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, their barbecue because I was like you, like Thumper, I was using Sweet Baby Ray's all the time. And then we started talking about Blue Hog, me and Gilly. And I tried that. Like everybody in the house was like, this is really good when we do the pulled pork and stuff. So definitely want to try out Rocky too.
But also, you like Sweet Baby Ray's? The Sweet That Day onion one is fucking awesome.
That one is good. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Now we're not discounting Sweet Baby Ray, just saying that there's good ones out there that everybody, get away from the craft and the Heinz and all that crap shit.
I've never heard of Blue Hog, so I'm gonna have to see if that's available.
They're from, yeah, no, it's available. Yeah, you can buy it anywhere.
Yeah, you should be able to buy it at any of your big retail grocery stores. They're pretty much everywhere.
Walmart.
Walmart. There's a couple things I won't give on, and like mustard is one of them. Like where I live, it's called Bogies. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's a stone ground. It's a stone ground, and it is so good. So it's made across the river from me, and so like that's one thing you'll never get me out. That's a hill I'll die on every day, because that is some of the best mustard that you'll ever have. But Blues, that's a legit barbecue. Even though like I make my own, I'll default to that because my wife, she likes like a Carolina style.
Yep.
And so there's kind of is pretty good with that. Yep.
See, and a lot of people don't realize Blues Hog and Gateway Drum Smokers, they're the same pretty much because they're from Missouri. They're a Missouri-based company.
I thought Blue Hog was coming out of North Carolina.
No, Missouri.
In Missouri?
Yep.
Who was it that was in North Carolina doing up all the smoking trips that we were talking?
Oh, fuck. I can't remember now. And you also got like Big Mo Cason out of Iowa.
Yeah, Big Mo Cason is a good one.
Yeah. And see, he's a fellow vet too. He served on the Missouri.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so Blues is out of Washington, Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wrong.
Yeah.
And the Gateway Drum Smokers, where I got my last two from, same place. I mean, they're hand in hand right there.
But like we talked about, I like the pit barrel smoker though.
I do too. I mean, I got two of them, but the Gateway, that's the Cadillac, brother. You know that.
I know, like for everybody out there that is afraid of smoking, I'm telling you right now, like me and Gilly has talked about, get a pit barrel to start off with. Is it what we call a stick burner? No nonsense. You put charcoal, whatever wood in the bottom of it, light that damn thing up, put the vent where it needs to be, put your meat on there and close that lid. It does it hot and fast. It'll have that smoke in there, and it's easy. There's no fucking fine-tuning adjustments and putting water baths here and all this crazy shit. You'll get good smoked meat out, I think, every time. Every time. All you got to do is be willing to do it. And smoked meat like barbecue, you don't have to spend that fucking $50 at like Smoky Bones or, all of these smoke joints. You can do it yourself at home. Simple, easy. You know what ingredients you're putting into it. You know what wood you're going to use, and experiment with it. All of us sit here and experiment with stuff. That's the key thing. Like cooking, like we talked about on the last stream. Experiment. That's the fun part of cooking. If it goes bad, well, shit, it goes bad. You move on and tweak what you did.
Just pour some barbecue sauce on it.
just that's good. Just put sauce on it, like the British do. Put sauce on everything, so they got.
My wife made friends with a woman in Gitmo, and she was another Navy wife, and they made something called chicken crack, and it's like buffalo chicken, but a dip. That shit is addicting.
I'll tell you what. I made a smoked chicken dip on the fly for my wife, for a potluck. And I'll tell you what, it was just, like put this together really quick, and people could stop eating it. One of the ladies, she was like, "Can I take this home?" And Adrian's like, "Just take it with you because you've been eating it all night." She's like, "I want to show it to my husband," and then asked how I made it, and she told her. So it's easy. Like there's not a lot to do. And that goes back to what we were talking like last week. Make your own food. Yeah, it's a little bit of time. I think I do a pork butt in 5-6 hours. That's 6 hours by the time it gets started. And then you bring it up to temp 180 degrees, wrap it in whatever sauce you want, then bring it up to 200 to 203, and then let it rest for a little bit. And you got pulled pork that you get anyway. Better than what you're going to get from the store, guaranteed, and healthier. Well, not as healthy, but you know.
Yeah, it is. I mean, as long as you're getting the healthy, meat and stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, pork is actually pretty healthy for you.
Yeah.
If you can eat it. Like, so like you said, jump in and do it, because I've done barbecue every way you could possibly think of. I mean, I grew up barbecuing and smoking my food to preserve it, and now I use my open pit, and that thing is that's a whole nother beast there. You gotta be careful with it. You can't just walk away from it a lot of times. But if you do it right, you can get away with smoking a ton of meat. I'm getting ready to do probably 6 pounds of drums and a whole turkey this week, all in the same day. So I'll definitely post some pictures and stuff for everybody to see, and kind of the progress of it. I've got videos and stuff that just quick little clips of the smoker, the open pit, the way I use it, and the way I built it. It's way cheaper. I spent a fraction of what I would have spent on a barrel smoker. I spent, my biggest expense was the actual surface, which is a griddle basically, but it's like deck plating almost. It's 1 inch, by 1 inch holes. That deck grating that you walk on. I got a 5 foot long, 3 foot wide deck plate, that deck grating, that I have put onto a couple courses of cinder blocks, and then a $37 piece of steel roofing that for a lid. And I mean, it works amazing.
I'm gonna show y'all what a mega drum is that cooks a whole hog in 9 fucking hours. This right here was Blues Hog, Gateway drums, right? Combination, right? The mega drum, dude. They cooked a whole hog. First time they did it there in Memphis Bay with that, they won the whole competition. And they did that bitch in 9 fucking hours.
You see what it said on the side of that? It said hot and fast.
Yep.
You got to remember, everybody out there, like you were saying, Thumper, like the investment on a pit barrel, yeah, it's a little bit high. You're going to see like $300-$400.
Well, not always. Depends on where you get it at, too.
Yeah. It's going to save you in the long run if you like barbecue, And nobody gets it perfect. Like, shit, I've ran it so many times. It was like, fuck, like I broke my blender. I broke my blender bowl because there's a huge tenon in there. It didn't get all the way down. It was like, whoop, whoop. And it just broke it because of the torque.
Yep.
So, these things happen. Like, everybody that you see on these fucking TV shows, all scripted, all cut, edited, but those guys are really good. But those guys run into the same problems that everybody else does. They're the same. They just spend a lot of time doing it. But they ran into trouble. I've seen guys shit go out, like their fires go out in the middle of the night, like, because they're not paying attention to it. So, if you got time, you got time to do it. And if not, you can make it in your off time and you can freeze it. Put it in a freezer bag, put it in the freezer, and then, thaw it back out for another day. You don't have to eat it that day. You can pre-prep everything, like game day, like you did last.
Because even now, little Tate, doesn't your brother fucking likes using the pit barrel, or not pit barrel, but the pit boss?
Yeah. After I showed him how to use it, he was dead set on propane gas. Didn't like the time it took on charcoal. So I got the pit boss from his father-in-law. And we started cooking on it while I was there. And he was like, oh, shit. At the temp he could put it, he cooked like 500 burgers on that thing for a band meet to feed all the band members and the family and everything. The dude was cooking for like hours. Like, but he got it to work, with that pit barrel, and everybody loved it, with that pit boss arm. And he doesn't know how to do the first thing of smoking. A lot of that air stuff is taken out now. You don't have all this crazy shit you have to do. Throw some charcoal in there, throw some wood on it. That's why we call it stick burner, and just go. Simple as that. Throw a meat thermometer in there and watch the tip. Hang out and drink.
Yeah, Hodges, I got your text message, but I don't know if I can share this from my phone.
I don't know if you can either.
Peter.
Yeah, I don't know if you can either with the video because I can't get it to share from my tablet.
Here,
I have a short little video that shows my smoker when I was getting it up and running.
I think I can forward this to my email, right? Yeah. Let me forward this to my email real quick.
Rocky, what do you got for game day?
For food?
Yeah, what are you doing today?
Well, my wife will usually make that thing called chicken crack, which is really, really good.
All right.
Or we just get wings. We make friends with other food trucks and we go and get their wings because that's what my wife did today. She didn't feel like cooking, so she went and got a bunch of wings.
Awesome.
Nice.
From a truck called Order Up, and they make some really good burgers and wings.
So they do like a standard, like kind of like finger food, like quick stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that way you can sit there and watch the game and all that other stuff.
Nice.
It's not the most attention-grabbing thing.
Are the wings breaded or are they naked? Dry rub?
Dude, we got all kinds of them. It's like one's golden barbecue, one's buffalo. I forgot all. She got like 8 different types of wings.
Nice.
So I'm like, well, as soon as I'm done with this, I guess I'll be going.
Another one, dude. Wings are a fucking racket in these restaurants. I can get a 4-pound, thing of them for like $8. All you got to do is trim off the wing tip, split the flat from the drum, and you've got your pieces done. All you got to do is process it. Super easy. And
the exchange here at the base,
yeah,
I buy all my shit from them. Dude, I can get a big ass family pack for like under $5, and then just cut them up and then bread them and fry them, and it's so good. Or smoke them.
That's what mine now in the air fryer. The air fryer, I'll tell you what, with just a little bit of oil, like avocado on there, man, some of the best naked wings I've ever had is doing
nice.
It. And smoke, you can smoke them too, but the air fryer does. You don't got to deep fry them. You don't got to put them in the oven. Throw it in your air fryer with just a little bit of avocado oil. Super simple, and it's not. Look at the pizza places. What do they sell? Like 12 wings for like $20.
Yeah. Yep. It's so hard though for me to do air fry. I use lard. So I love to deep fry lard, and it's healthy. So it's healthier than a lot of the other stuff. So I'm like, I love the crisp because I have an air fryer and I've done it both ways, and I'm just like, damn, it's close, but it's not perfect as far as how crispy I like mine, because I like them nice and crispy.
Yeah. So, and you're using lard too. Like I'll use peanut oil in the skillet to do my frying. So it's not in a deep fryer. It's that shallow fry that's way better when you're doing fried chicken and stuff. So that makes a difference in the air fryer because it keeps it really light. And I like that neutral flavor. So the sauce is like if you want to use sauce, Yeah,
and I made a 3-pepper powder. It's 3 of the world's hottest peppers basically that I grow. I have probably 15 pounds of peppers in my freezer right now from different types of peppers. So I have everything from Carolina Reaper down to Scorpion and jalapeno, whatever. And I dehydrate it, and then I hand crush it into a powder, and I sprinkle that into the sauce I make. And you gotta, for wings, it's essential. You gotta put butter in your sauce. You have to put butter in your sauce so it sticks to that chicken wing, And then with that heat that I throw in mine, oh, but a lot of people can't eat my heat, so I have to make like separate batches, on a regular basis because like I like to cry when I eat. So
I want to get that sweat going on and clear out my sinuses.
Just sweating, I got pit sweat going on because I'm so hot, and it's just like it hurts so good, and it's like the best. It's like you have to hurt.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing when you sweat like that. That's getting rid of toxins too. Like
hell yeah.
People forget, like when you sweat from chili powder, you releasing toxins, like especially too.
Look into the stuff like that you rub on your sore muscles. It has capsaicin in it. Yep. That's from peppers. There's a reason that kind of stuff has capsaicin in it. It's a really healing property other than pepper spray, because that's not very healing. I've been sprayed with that numerous times, and had overspray from it because I used it a lot. But I think it helps your body and helps with soreness and inflammation. It might tear your gut up and burn your asshole a little bit, but whatever.
But if you got toothache, capsaicin is the best thing for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And capsaicin works for a lot of things. There's so many like natural things in food that
it's funny because like I remember hearing like one guy talking from was it Pirate Software, and he was saying humans were mutants because we will eat a plant that is using chemical warfare against us, but it's so good for us. You know what I mean? It's so funny.
Humans got to be a masochist, man.
But the peppers can taste good too if you use them the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just enhance the food. They really do.
Habanero's got a huge citrus flavor to it.
Yeah.
Well, when you get into the super hots like ghost pepper and reapers, mine have a smoky flavor to them, and I make mine really, really hot. Like I grow them intentionally hot. Like you starve them of water. You starve the plants of water, and as the leaves wilt, you give it some water, and then they perk up, and then you let it go until the leaves wilt again, and then you give it some water, and that makes them way hotter, way hotter.
Now, if you like hot shit, Thumper, dude, follow Jimmy Pickles on Instagram.
I do.
Okay.
I follow all of the super hot eaters and stuff, like the competition eaters and stuff. Yep.
I mean, they're fucking nuts. But if it's put right in the food, I mean, it just makes it makes food better, I think, anyways.
My 3 pepper powder is so dangerous. You have to put, just like imagine holding a spoon and you have the curve of the spoon, right, at the very tip. Just a small little line that goes around that half moon is all you need for an entire pot of chili. I mean, an entire pot of chili. It's that spicy.
I ain't never eat at your fucking house. I'll tell you that right now. My asshole will be on fire.
I don't do that to everybody.
Like, holy shit, my ass on fire.
Yeah, I don't do that to everybody. I wait until I serve everybody else and everybody's got seconds, then I eat it. And I don't want to do that. I made Chinese hot and spicy soup, and I was like, oh, this is great, and I'm like scarfing it down. My son's over there eating it. My wife and daughter are like, nope, we're not touching this. Like, it's too spicy. And I didn't even put in my peppers. I put in white pepper. I mean, and the chili crisp, but it wasn't like that spicy. I didn't think, but my level of spice is completely different than most people. So,
I gotta be careful when I'm cooking for River, right? And because I'll add some spice to it, and he'll let me know really fucking quick. But a lot of people don't realize Thai food is spicy as fuck if you get the real
I love Thai food.
I do
love
too.
Thai food.
I mean, dude, we spent how much time in Thailand? What, a week in Thailand?
About that, I think about that.
Fucking 5 days. We spent 5 days on that fucking port.
Yeah.
9. It was 9.
I had all the days off.
The trip when we went to Patong Beach, remember, like, we got the cigar boats because we had to anchor out. That was a 5-day trip because this asshole. Wait, wrong way. Which
I'm up here.
This asshole, you're on my left side. He spent that 5 days because old Cav fucking needed that day off in Australia to spend with his wife.
Oh yeah.
This
So Gav
cocksucker.
took my fucking duty because I took his duty, right?
Yeah.
But Thai food is
I
some of
just
the
remember
best
that
out
trip.
there.
I remember that trip. I was in the jungle riding elephants. I was doing the fucking bungee jump in the jungle and went into the water. I was eating that. We had that lady and that guy that drove that van around, and they took us everywhere for 500 baht the whole time we were there. They were waiting for us when we woke up in the morning in the lobby of the hotel. They would drive us all day, all night, drop us off at our hotel to go to sleep, and be waiting for us in the lobby in the morning. And like 500 baht was like nothing because it was 42-1 when we were there. 42 baht to $1 American. And like went to that Thai kickboxing tournament in the jungle and all kinds of crazy shit. I'm surprised I didn't lose an organ or something, with as much as I was drinking.
Oh, bullshit anyway, man. I never seen people that were so helpful
I know.
anywhere
cool,
else in the world than Thailand, dude. They really love like Americans to party. Now this was, obviously back in 2000.
Yeah.
25 years later. I don't know how well we're doing it right now.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. I loved it. Like
Rocky,
the
for
food.
spices, do you get people that ask for like spice for your food? Like, do you make anything off to the side?
Yeah, dude, we make our own salsa. We make a green salsa and a red salsa. We make guacamole. We make pico de gallo. Then we make pico de gallo with guacamole in it, which is freaking amazing.
But I mean, like spice level. Like, do you guys have like?
Oh, like we'll make one where we don't put a whole lot of seeds in it, and then the red one we'll make as hot as it comes. Like if the seeds are scorching hot, then it's going to be a scorching hot salsa. But the thing is I also want it to taste good. I want it to taste really good, so you can't stop eating it. But like, I want you to sweat and cry and all that other stuff. I want you to look like the guy in the movie Airplane when he was trying to land the airplane, and he's sweating. I want that. That's what I want. But I'm like, I want to be like, oh my gosh, man, this is so good. And I'll be like, yes, it is. Keep eating, sailor. Keep eating.
What peppers are you using?
We use like chili de árbol, guajillo, pasilla, New Mexico, and there's something else I can't remember. And they all go good together. But like we'll also use like for green salsa, we use like tomatillos.
Yeah,
red salsa we'll use tomatoes, and then sometimes my wife makes one that's in between red and yellow, red and green, and it's more yellowish or orange, and it's kind of spicy too. And then she makes the traditional salsa too, like the stuff you'd have at a restaurant that's actually really good Mexican restaurant, not that like generic salsa that just, I don't know. I don't like it that much.
Like paste picante?
Oh, it's way better than that stuff. Way better. Way better. Like it's
real quick, guys. I got to take off. So it's good seeing you guys today. And I'll see you guys next podcast.
Absolutely. See you,
bye, brothers. Later.
So, yeah, what was I saying? I was saying
we're talking about the restaurants. We're making fun of paste picante, old commercials.
Oh, this stuff's made in New York City. Yeah,
it was great back in the day, man. Like, people, and is anybody watching the Super Bowl out there as we're talking just for the advertisements? I know my brother is. My brother only watches the Super Bowl for the ads and the halftime show.
I did for a long time. I watched the game and the Super Bowl commercials, right? And then about 10 years ago, when everything got political, I stopped watching football.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, it breaks my heart because I love the sport, but I can't stand all the politics involved in it.
Well, you know that they're doing the Black National Anthem on this one, so let's see how that's received.
Well, they're taking off the edge racism out of the end zone, too, now. They're taking that out, probably.
Yeah, because it's not going to make a damn difference.
And that's one thing I love about the owners of the Chiefs, right? They told their players, if you fucking kneel during national anthem, you're fired on the spot. Play it simple. You will not have a job.
And that's why I was going back to entertainment, because these guys are workers in a
Yeah.
corporation. The NFL is a corporation. It's a business. Every team is an LLC, right? Every owner, they put money together, their stadiums, they make money. The surrounding areas make money, which I never understood how Cleveland or any of those guys make fucking money. Or Jacksonville Jaguars. You've seen the
Oh man, yeah.
stadiums.
Like I'm like, do those guys ever win? You know?
Jacksonville does. They have not been now winning.
Yeah,
No.
but they're as bad as Detroit was. Like,
Actually, the Panthers are worse than them.
I know.
And
As you see, I'm not wearing a Panthers thing, ain't I? But I mean, I kind of like my favorite team's always been the Raiders because that's where I'm from, right? And I never liked the 49ers, but I respected them because when I watched football, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice played, and then Steve Young. You know what I mean? And they were good. They were good. Ronnie Lott was playing at the time, I think. He was like one of the hardest hitters ever playing football, and I think at the time also like the Refrigerator Perry was playing football.
he was
Yeah,
playing the
Bears.
Bears, and he was playing for the Bears.
Yeah,
The Bears.
I mean,
The Bears.
'cause- yeah. But like I had the G.I. Joe of Refrigerator Perry. I also had Sergeant Slaughter. So like football was a big part of my life because I had G.I. Joe action figures that were cartoon characters and they also played professional football and stuff.
Yep.
Or
Hey,
WWF.
And get back to the Raiders. I hated the fucking Raiders, still do to this day. But the one person I ever liked on the Raiders was Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Because he played
Yeah.
for the Royals right there. Dude, if he would
And
not
he
have
did
broke his hip,
different sports.
if he would not got hurt, with his hip, dude, I think he would have fucking broke the rushing record, all that shit.
You know what? I guarantee if people like Bo Jackson were playing today's league, they would fucking smoke check these guys.
Yeah.
They would beat the shit out of them.
Because talk about the Raiders, Rocky. You remember when fucking Bo Jackson ran over fucking what's his name, Bosworth,
No, not really.
and he was all fucking steroid freak, right? And Bo Jackson was natural, and Bo Jackson, they said you can't run through Bosworth, right? Dude, he ran through that motherfucker.
I do remember watching a Super Bowl where a quarterback broke his leg, and I can't remember who it was. It was like 1983, 84, 85, somewhere around that time.
Fuck that. Tecmo Super Bowl, dude. The Raiders were the best team because you had Bo Jackson. Remember you get in the end zone and be like, whoa!
Because all you gotta do is fucking go up, over, down, and just repeat that fucking cycle. That's all you had to do.
Raiders were the fucking team back during Tecmo Super Bowl, dude.
Dude, I got Tecmo on my fucking Switch. I play that all the time.
Kids nowadays don't even know the fucking fun we have.
Actually, my daughter and my son both have a Switch.
Nice.
So I'm like, I want to get one because I want to play like Contra, Kung Fu, Excite Bike, Joust.
Excite Bike is all there. I got that on mine.
Yeah.
But Contra and all those other games, Contra is, but a lot of the games that we loved ain't all there.
Spy Hunter. I wanted to play Spy Hunter too. That was a badass fucking game.
Dude, I used to play Spy Hunter and my cousin's like TV on top of the refrigerator. We'd be standing up there like, trying.
But
it wasn't
GoldenEye, James Bond GoldenEye is on the Switch. That is all there. 'Cause I got that one.
Double Dragon,
Uh-huh.
Great.
Ninja Gaiden. Man, there's so many good games.
Oh, yeah. I just wish they would bring out Duck Hunt for it. But you got to have the gun for Duck Hunt.
If you could shoot those ducks as they got harder and harder, you were a better shot in real life, I think.
But I found
screen. Pew, pew.
That's what I did. I found the trick. I saw the fucking screen.
I'd right up against it and be like, ding, ding, ding. All right, I'm good.
And my dad was whipping my ass one time, and so I put it against the screen, right? And I start kicking Dad's ass. He's like, "You're fucking cheating, you little bastard." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, old man."
Speaking of, they just did the Black National Anthem, and you could see the choir out there, and the faces on these girls. Wow, they were like,
Oh, you guys are watching it right now?
yeah, I got it on.
Okay.
But the
I'm
thing
gonna start
is,
watching. I'm gonna start watching afterwards.
we don't need a fucking 2 national anthems.
It should just be one.
We're all fucking
Just-
Americans, people. Come on, we're all fucking Americans.
That's what pisses me off the most is that, like, when we were growing up, like we talked about before, none of this was a problem.
Yeah.
Everybody had their own, cliques and everything in high school, and you hung out with like your interests. Like, if you like video games, you have to
Steal it from Greg.
you like video games, you have to like, oh, you like fucking BMX, like this music, or you like roller skating, like whatever. We all did, activities together that we like roller skating, like whatever. We all did, activities together that we like roller skating. We all did that. Or yours, Rocky.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to
Ain't
get
mine.
it.
Or yours, Rocky.
It's mine. I'm answering someone. I'm answering Kelly. Kelly Clark just gave us a message. It's mine. I'm answering someone.
Oh, Kelly did? Nice.
Yeah. So hi, Kelly. What's up? How you doing?
Well, what was she addressing?
She was saying that. And let me go back into the comments.
Y'all talking 80s football, not even mentioned by Redskins. Yeah. Rocky, you were thinking of Joe Theismann's leg break.
All talking 80s football,
a Super Bowl, but still bad.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Hi. Glad to hear from you. Hope you're doing well.
Kelly gave us our first fucking comment on Facebook Live.
What?
Dude, the crazy thing with that one was I was living in Wilmington, California at the time, right? And my mom and my dad were sitting in the living room and they had those TV dinner trays. You remember those TV dinner trays from the 70s and 80s?
Yeah, I did.
And we're like eating spaghetti. They made spaghetti for it. So we're all eating it, and that dude breaks his leg, and it's all bloody and gory and everything. It's just, oh man, it's funny.
Yeah, even old John Peck gave us a like too.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he went water officer too. I think.
Who?
John.
Yeah, he spent that holidays because
he was a gunner's mate chief. I think he went LDO or water officer one.
That's awesome. Good for them.
Oh,
I lost track of them. I mean, I lost track of a lot of people off the five. It's only recently that I've been able to get a hold of a lot of my people, talk to people again. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's one thing Facebook has done. That's the reason I got Facebook.
Yeah,
to see what everyone's doing from the five or people I served with. Not just on five, but like the Laboon too. I mean, I got a couple of people on there from the Laboon. I mean, granted, I didn't really care for that command, but there were some people that I stayed friends with over the years too. We're a little tech off team.
Hung out with like your interests, like grab another beer really quick.
You was like invisible for a minute. Like, where the fuck you go?
I was sitting there thinking, like, when we were talking about Theismann and like like Washington Redskins and like Art Monk and those guys.
Yep.
I remember my old man being so pissed at Warren Moon, the Oilers, the Houston Oilers, because he was always bitching about getting hit, by the defensive line. Like the old man be like, "Yeah, fucking Jose," like get in there and play the game. Because we grew up as Redskins fans. Because that was what my grandfather was.
Actually,
so that's the games we watched. And we watched the Redskins.
My wife was from that area of Virginia, right? She lived there, then she moved to North Carolina, and she was a Redskins fan too.
Yeah, we were from Indiana, and it was like really weird, like why we went after the Redskins. I have no idea.
And not the Colts.
No, I liked their symbol or whatever it was, whatever it was. I thought it was cool.
But I hope they bring back the Redskins name.
I do too. I mean, it should be a name of respect in a way. In my way of thinking, it's a name. It's showing respect.
Yeah, they're the tribe that the chief came from, and I forgot his name, has been suing to get the name back on there because it is from the original head coach. For respect for Native Americans, and they're now doubling down. I read an article. I have to bring it back up, but they're like, "No, we're not changing the name." And you're like, "Why? Why would you take that away? It's like taking Aunt Jemima away, Uncle Ben. Like,
I think that's so messed up, man.
They're erasing history.
Yeah, I mean they're bringing back Aunt Jemima.
Yeah,
Her
yeah,
That's
family
good. That's
did.
good.
yeah, they
Her
are.
family did fucking
That's good.
no. We need to fucking keep her, dude. She made fucking. I ain't gonna say
History.
billions of dollars, but she made bank.
She
doing
Yeah.
made
it.
history for what she accomplished in her
Yeah.
life. You
Yeah.
know, that's amazing.
Why would we take that away? That's like, without getting too political, that's some racist shit right there.
Yeah,
Because that's that 1% think that they're, oh, we got to erase history. No, you don't erase history. You learn from history, people.
This
That's
woman,
how history's not repeated, as long as you
Yeah.
learn from it.
exactly.
built an empire out of making syrup that she used. She
Yeah.
came up with the recipe,
Yeah.
and you're going to deny her that by taking her face off of it, thinking, oh, this is bullshit. This is,
And they paid her well for using her likeness, her fucking recipe, all that. And her family was making money off that generations later.
That's a legacy that's just been lost for some stupid thing, man.
yeah, a legacy. She built a legacy for her family.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's all anybody I guess really wants to accomplish in life is make a legacy for themselves like that, and whatever their endeavor is, right? And
Yeah.
they get taken away like that over some stupid, I don't know, stupid politics. It's a shame. It's a
But
damn
you're,
shame.
but you're going to leave the Quaker Oats white dude on the fucking box.
And they even took the Indian off Land O'Lakes too, butter.
That's what I was going to raise
Yeah.
Land O'Lakes.
Yeah.
We're off too. And you're like, what the fuck?
That's like my favorite butter, man. That's what we use for our potatoes, man. Our loaded potatoes.
Yeah.
If you've seen those pictures, dude, my God, those potatoes. It's
Oh,
like the steakhouse meets Mexico. I'll just say it that way. And then at one time, dude, I tried it. I had my wife's like, hey, let's make sweet potatoes. Put the birria on top of it. Oh my gosh, dude. It's like when you go to a steakhouse and you have like a sweet potato with the brown sugar and the cinnamon and all that stuff on it and the butter and then the steak. Man, it's so good.
One of the best ways to make a sweet potato, you know how on the mandolin, right? Dude, you cut the regular potatoes, paper thin, right? And fry them up like chips. Sweet potato chips are fucking awesome.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
I've been a big fan of. I've never been a big fan of yams or sweet potatoes. I grew up with them Thanksgiving, and I never was a fan.
I never was either until I fried some, made them paper thin, right, like chips, and then fried them, put some salt, pepper on them. Dude, I was like, okay, got something here.
Yams are always a part of Thanksgiving dinner for me.
It was
even like Christmas dinner growing up. Like the yams were part of Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
So like every once in a while, I'll be like, "Hey, babe," I'll be like, "Heidi, let's make Thanksgiving dinner, and this will be in the middle of May." I don't care. I want that food. That's my favorite kind of food.
And that's what I think is funny is like that meal. Like you don't need to just have it on one day. You can smoke turkey up, make mashed potatoes, do rolls, gravy, yams, green bean casserole anytime you want to.
Yeah.
Like the white people's green bean casserole. What the fuck is green bean casserole?
Dude, I ate one where they put bacon in it.
Ooh, I haven't tried that.
And dude, I think it's my wife's family because, I live out in North Carolina now. So like I live close to her family. My family's not in California no more. They live in Texas, just like 1,200 miles away. Right. So we go over there and my wife and all the women, dude, they make the most amazing food. And my wife always makes the mashed potatoes. Like the mashed potatoes are amazing. What's up, Gil? You're muted. I can't hear you.
Yep, there we go. I had to unmute because Cav called me, right? He said, "What's up, motherfucker? You ain't gonna give me a shout out? I was a comment on y'all shit." I said, "Oh shit, I didn't see it yet." He goes,
I didn't see no comments.
He goes, "Who that? Y'all in my country. Fuck Kelsey and his girlfriend. Best food in the country. New Orleans is the best food in history."
I mean, he is down there, and that's where the Super Bowl at. So
that's a shout out to our brother Kavanaugh right there. Cav, the
What's up, bro? It's been a while.
let's go.
Glad to hear from you.
I thought we'd give him a shout out.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Tell him so. What's up, bro?
We already talked about him for being in Australia and taking the duty day for you in
I
Thailand.
know. And then
I'm not seeing any of them comments.
He called me. So I was like, okay, I gotta answer this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not monitoring Facebook, so that's all on you guys. Putting the blame on you.
I know, put the
Yeah, I
blame
know.
on me. Yeah.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
goes,
we
yeah,
could we
yeah,
could probably
Kelly,
talk
shout out,
about
what
food.
about me?
Oh, food can go forever, dude, with the amount of things that we've cooked. And I agree with you, Rocky. Like I learned to cook, and I got made fun of when I was a kid because I would be in the kitchen with my great grandmother, my grandma, like all the women, and those where I learned like the best recipes from.
That's when you would get the family recipes and everything that would be like a legacy for the family, no matter if they were big or small. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
got all of grandma's old recipe. Shit was like printed like on the old index cards with a typewriter. They put that shit in there and it'd be like,
yeah, dude, my grandma had that.
yeah,
So, like, my wife, before she was my wife and my girlfriend, she would go to my grandma's houses because they would have recipes like that, and she would learn the things that I love. This is how awesome my wife is, dude. Like, she still cooks that stuff to this day, you
oh
know?
shit, grandma.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like, dude, she makes the most amazing fucking mashed potatoes I've ever eaten in my life. And like she that's how we kind of met. Like I was in charge of her at first, and then we went to different places because they put us in different divisions and sections. And one day she made chicken, and she was barbecuing chicken in the dark. And I lived in the barracks at the time. She's like, "Hey, you want some chicken?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll take free food. I'm not someone that won't take free food." And I was watching the X Files. She's like, "You like the X Files?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love the X Files." But dude, she got me. She won me through my stomach, man. You know?
That's how it used to be. It was
Yeah.
like, everybody got it. Feminism, masculinity, all that stuff. And women cooked back then, and that was the way that it was. Like, I you were taught if you cooked, you had to do the dishes. So I would cook with them and I'd be doing the dishes. I used to get made fun of, but that's how I learned how to cook. It was from great grandma and them. Like great grandma lived through the depression. So you learn depression recipes too. And some of those recipes are absolutely awesome. You look at back like, people talk about Hoover stew. We made what was called ribble soup. And literally it was potatoes, water, eggs, flour, and salt. So it's different than a biscuit or like a dumpling because of the consistency when you pour it into the boiling water. And my dad still makes that to this day. And it's fucking awesome. Like he keeps a secret recipe. He hasn't gave it away yet. And my brother asked for it for his birthday. And my old man made it for him. Like that's all he wanted for his birthday. He's like, Dad, make ribble soup.
You know what that is? That's the secret Krabby Patty formula right there.
Exactly.
The
It's
secret Krabby Patty formula.
too. Like if you don't get a secret recipe from your family, I feel sorry for you because you didn't really get to cook. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shoot, dude. Like Heidi learned all the stuff that my grandma makes, except for maybe tamales, but we have the recipe for it. And she actually made the tamales with birria, and they turned out pretty damn good.
ooh, that sounds so good.
So we made tamales with the birria we have and the chicken that we have. I didn't want to put ground beef in it. I was like, I don't know about the ground beef, but the chicken and the beef and the chicken, yeah.
I did that the other day. So I took a London broil and I cooked it down and I made chili out of it. Instead of using the ground beef that everybody's used to or like strip steak or anything,
Uh-huh.
it shredded up, from a London broil. And it only took 50 minutes in the Instant Pot to get it really soft. And then you mix everything together with the chili, like Carol Shelby's chili mix. And it was absolutely beautiful. Like that taste is way different than having that ground beef. It's like having the birria, where it's just like nice stringy meat in there. It was so good.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what we're talking about. Like there's so many recipes that everybody can put together. It doesn't take that much time. The whole meal took an hour and a half. Like hour and a half, and you got food that everybody loves, or they might not like, but you tried something. And London broils are pretty cheap because of the cut of meat that it is. So those, and that's what pisses me off is people do catch on to those, and they do raise the prices because of that. Cheap cuts of meat are becoming popular because people know how to cook them, but we're teaching you how to do it. Like we're telling you how to do it out with like your interests. Like you like this, how to cook them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like Gilly over there, he's been, on the alternative because of Alpha-Gal, like we talked about the other day.
Yep.
So there's no reason, and not saying that we're hypocritical. We're sitting here drinking beer, being healthy, but you can eat healthier food than fast food and restaurant food, and make it yourself, man, and enjoy making it. And I think that's what a lot of people, lose out on is the enjoyment you get out of cooking. Like there's a thing in there, like there's love in there if you enjoy it. It's fun. It can be tedious at times, but when you're cooking for your family, that's the key thing. Is cooking for your family. That's what
We chose the most difficult tacos to make. It take like 2 days to make, but man, when you're done with the product,
yeah. It's a labor of love, man. It really is. And that's where we've talked about before is that people just are so dead to love anymore or enjoyment. Fast food was great back in the day, for a quick meal and now today, but there's no enjoyment at home anymore. There's no hearty meals.
See, I've always loved to cook. Growing up, right?
Yeah.
Mom and Dad, I was 7, 8 years old, cooking. But I also loved to help both my grandmothers in the kitchen too. Along with my grandpa out in the barn, right? And then I loved help cooking. Because one of the favorite things my Nanny White ever made that I loved was homemade custard. I love that shit right there. And then my grandma, my Nanny Gillespie, she fried everything and learned, but she made some of the best gooseberry fucking pies you ever had right there.
Yeah, the gooseberry pie, that was great grandma's thing too.
Yes. And like fried taters and onions, dude, she would get those motherfuckers just perfect, get some of that burnt edges around them. Oh my God.
Who got stuck with rhubarb pie? Anybody do rhubarb pie out there?
Yes. My grandma Gillespie did. Nanny Gillespie did. She did all that shit.
Too. Like if you don't do it right, like it's toxic.
Oh man, my they make apple pie out here. And
every once in a while
I'll ask Heidi to make me a peach cobbler, dude, because I love peach cobblers.
Yeah,
dude, get you a fucking smoker and make that apple pie in the smoker like I did, dude. That's the best apple pie you ever fucking had right there.
I gotta try that. Yeah.
Get you start with the pit barrel. The pit barrel, you can go to Academy and get the biggest one they have for $1.99.
Is it on sale right now?
It's always on sale for some reason.
Yeah.
Pit barrel is. I mean, you can go through the website, which is in Maryland, right? That's where they're out of. Have it to your house in no time.
And
if you got Academy Sports, go to Academy right there.
I was gonna say for all the veterans out there, for like us, like you can get plates and shit from your department that you're in. So you can get a Navy one, you can get an Army one. You can customize your shit. You got to do.
And for you fucking jarheads, you crayon eating motherfuckers, you can get one for the fucking crayon eaters too.
Yeah, exactly.
And even the fucking Air Force pussies. Come on now.
always on the golf course type shit.
Terror Force, get it right.
Did you guys ever see that video? There's a video, and it's a meme, and it's got like the Muppets, and they said this is what Marines do, and it's like this. Eat book, no, eat book. It was like eat crayon. Like, they said that was the Marines. I gotta find it. I'm gonna send it to you. It's on my Facebook Messenger. I sent it to my wife, and this was back in like 2017 or 2018. Oh my God, I have to go way back, but man, that shit was hilarious. I'm gonna send it to you guys. If I can find a way to play it, If I can find a way to play that, I'm gonna look for it right now and see if I can fucking find it, man.
There was another one I seen. They had a crayon buffet, so it was like laid out with different colors, and they're going back and forth panning like, oh, what color of crayon do I want? But in all seriousness, though, you know the Marines were the only ones that's passed their audits.
Good for them.
Out of all the fucking branches out there, the Marines are the ones that have absolutely down to the fucking penny know where all of their assets and money is at. So you make fun of them being like, we make fun of them being crayon eaters, but they're the ones that have had the Navy didn't pass it, the Air Force didn't pass it.
I wouldn't expect the Navy to pass it.
But technically, they're the jarheads, ain't their own breasts. They're a department of the Navy, technically.
Yeah, so we should be fucking doing better.
Yeah, we should.
The Marines out there, they're like, fuckers, we can count. We can do
like,
1 equals 2.
Well, it's like, the group I go to on Monday nights through the Vet Center, right? I'm the only Navy motherfucker in there until recently we got another Navy guy in there, right?
Yeah.
But then you got all these Army guys, jarheads, right? I said, I asked one, I said, okay, what's your favorite fucking crayon, bitch? And they answered. I was like, holy shit, he actually answered it.
I like rose red.
That's what there was. It was red.
Go figure.
Oh yeah.
It's too funny. Like,
I mean, we all give each other hell, right? Each branch, we all give each other hell. The Navy got the gay jokes, right? You see this one motherfucker on Reels and Shorts, right? Yeah. He was Army. I guess he still was or still is.
What is that? Nick Ortiz or
he's
Nico?
Always like, doing all these things like Army and Marines are always the badasses, right? And the Navy like, ooh, look at me, motherfuckers.
He's always making like, there's that one joke of like where they use Kesha's song, like I hear the beat of your drum, like it's outside the Marine door where he's humping the door.
But one of the best guys I like watching Shorts on or Reels, is the guy you always send me, Mandatory Fun Day.
I found it, guys.
I like that guy right there.
Will it fucking play? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, bitches.
Let me see if I can get it just right, because it's hilarious, man. Let me go to share.
Oh, we know he was on a mission to find that motherfucker.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking funny, man. All right.
Dum dum.
And let's say this Marines.
Oh, you can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
Oh, come on.
Wait.
There we go. Keep going.
You hear it now?
Play it. Yeah, play it again.
All right. How is it appearing on the screen? Good?
It's good on screen. Let's see if we get.
Yep. Book. Yep. Book. Eat book. Yep. Smell book. No. Yearbook. Words. 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 Yep. Uh-huh. Read. Read. Read book. Read book. Yep. 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 Yep.
And that's the Marines.
Did you see the brief that I sent out about they had to instruct everybody in the Marines about marital to like exotic dancers?
Yeah, dude.
They need the Navy on that one too. Like
That's the whole military, bro. The whole military.
Dude, that reminds me of fucking Vaughn and Hendrix. Hydrix.
yeah, Heinrich.
Not-
Heinrich was
Not Hendrix, Rocky from Japan, right? The
Yeah.
old Jimmy Hendrix guy.
Yeah.
Not him. You know.
No, Heinrich. Heinrich is the weirdest amalgamation of anything. He was a Blackfoot Indian and German.
Uh-huh.
Like that was his tree. Heinrich, obviously, his last name was German, but his mom was like full Blackfoot Indian from I think Montana, and it was always funny because he stayed with me, and we would go through a case of Milwaukee's Best Ice. We'd play like Red Faction on PS2, and he ended up meeting a girl in Peru when we was there, and got her pregnant. And ended up marrying her. He went to the army too, like Hodges or like Thumper did. And now you got Vaughn. What Vaughn got like what 3-4 kids?
Something like that. Oh, Cavs had another comment. He said, "Y'all keep doing what y'all doing." He said, "It's cool." And we got talking about food, right? Kelly goes, "I love to cook and make homemade bread weekly, make everything from scratch. We should do a 5 cookbook."
Yeah, that would be a great
That's
idea.
something we can all, talk about right
Yeah.
there.
Why not? That's a great idea.
Because everybody, I mean, I say everybody, right? But a lot of people from Fife like to cook like we do. Everybody remembers Monette Baldwin, right?
Yeah, Monet. Yeah.
Dude, she's a fucking chef there in Atlanta. She's an actual chef.
How's she doing? Is she doing good, by the way? I haven't heard from her in a long time.
I haven't heard from her in a while, so I don't know. But I'm sure she is. But
Remember old Shoepot, old MS2 Shoepot?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I got her on. Yes, I got her on Facebook. Yeah,
She went to the White House. She went to the culinary school. She got orders to go cook at the White House back then.
Wow, that's amazing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if she ever made it, but I know she got orders and then never heard from her again. But she had orders to go, the military actually had culinary school back then. And
Yeah, because I think all the cooks for the president are sailors.
yeah, they're trained chefs. I think there's a couple Marines too, but it's Department of the Navy is the one that cooks
Yeah.
for the president. So if I'm right, I may be wrong, but
the
I
bad thing
think
is,
I think it is.
The Air Force always had the best chow versus the Navy or anybody
dude.
else.
You haven't been to Guantanamo Bay, man. Both galleys in Guantanamo
No, I've
Bay.
never been there.
Oh man, Guantanamo Bay, that was like going to a nice restaurant.
that,
And then I would go to the other galley because I'd have to do convoys with the terrorists because we take them to go do the commissions court cases, right? And I was part of a team that would take them out of the camps or surround the guys that's taking them out of the camps and bring them to where the courthouse was on the island. And they had a really good freaking galley there too.
does it
Really
beat
good galleys.
Submariners? I mean, the Submariners got a pretty badass meal plan too, being underwater.
They would have to be, but I don't know. I never went to a base on a sub base and checked out the galley there.
I wonder if the oxygen scrubbers like throw off your taste buds.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe.
The what?
Well, we're talking about Submariners and like who's got the best meals.
Oh,
And apparently Submariners do, but we're laughing if the oxygen scrubbers like throw off your fucking taste buds.
But I'll tell you what though, on the Abraham Lincoln and on the Carl Vinson, the ships that I was on, the other ships I was on as a chief, they had some pretty damn good food in the chief's mess, man.
Yeah, I think the big decks always did. I know that back in the day when we were on the fight, the Chiefs mess there had really good food too. Because as cranks, I went in there for a while, and we would get food in there. Like we'd get a little bit like at the end, and it was way better. Like
Well, the
that's on
Chiefs
a
mess and the wardroom had the best food on any of the ships. Really.
Well, I actually ate in the wardroom on the Abraham Lincoln because we were doing a yard period, right? And we were still eating up there. And they had like three different wardrooms, right? They had one right above the Chiefs mess. They had one on like the 04, 05 level, 03 level, somewhere around there, or 02 level. It was near the flight line, the flight deck. And they did not have as good as food as the Chiefs mess. So when they shut down the Chiefs mess and we had to eat up in the wardroom, the Navy chief, the chief mess fucking cooks for cooking the food there. So it was great. It was really good.
like when I had the mess crank in the wardroom too, it was the same way too because everything comes up the dumbwaiter.
Mhm.
So like everything comes from below, and then everybody's got to mark their meal ticket, and it's like it's not as good. Like the only time that we cook up there was when we had like burger day and shit, make fresh burger orders. Other than that, it all came up from the same place. And it was like, when I made Chief in the Chiefs mess too, it was like we got a hotter meal because it was fresh from, on a DDG right from the kitchen. There's a door right from the mess, and it'd be right in there, right from the galley. There was mornings because I had mid-watch that I would help them set up just because I wanted it done so I could fucking eat at like 5 in the morning before anybody else got in there. Like, hey, fuck you all. I'm getting the fresh shit. And I would make some of the best meals before anybody got in there. Like hash browns and like eggs and sausage gravy and shit. Make that garbage plate.
Well, yeah, but you also had that background in cooking at a truck stop before you came in too.
Oh yeah, well, and I cooked at other places too. Like the truck stop was the main one. I cooked at Family Table. I cooked at Hoosier Land. Like that was another thing I enjoy cooking. Hell, I took one of the guys off the Bulkley, and we were doing the crab legs, and we still had a deep fryer on there, right on the Bulkley that hadn't gotten rid of it yet. And I showed him how to make like crab cakes from the crab that we had that they were making that they hadn't put out because it was kind of like leftover, even though it was still fresh. And I was making crab cakes for guys out there. And I was showing him how to cook it. And he was like, how in the fuck do you know how to cook like this? And I'm like, I was the mess deck master at arms at the time. So I could cook anything I wanted with it. He's like, how do you know this? It's like, dude, I was cooking when I was like 17.
But they got rid of the deep fryers. They took deep fryers off the ships.
Oh yeah, they did. There was a regulation because of the APC system.
Oh,
And
Jesus Christ.
they wanted to get rid of all, and it was the health. I think it was during Obama's administration. They wanted all deep fryers gone because of health. So it was like combination of health, and then it became safety, like safety.
There you go. Another Democrat fucking it up. Fucking up the good food again.
Yeah, yeah. Look at Obama. Look at Michelle's fucking schoolhouse bullshit and everything else, like we talked about the other day.
Like forever, I asked him one day, I said, what's your favorite meal at school? He said, pizza day. I was like, yes. But they don't make pizza like, the old cooks did, the cafeteria ladies made. They don't make that square pizza no more here in Boonville anyway.
They don't make the sheet pan pizza anymore. And the reason why I know that is my grandmother used to work the cafeteria when I went to school. So that sheet pan pizza, I know how it was made.
Yeah.
And it was legit. They actually cooked.
Yeah. See, my daddy Gillespie, she worked at the school cafeteria, not the school I went to, but she worked at a school cafeteria because she actually had her teaching degree, But at one point, she couldn't teach because they wanted unmarried women teaching, right?
Mhm.
Not married for some reason, whatever the fuck it was. But
That's
she
so
was just
weird.
cafeteria
That doesn't
lady.
make any
You know,
sense.
that's one of the things I learned how to cook right there was from her.
Yeah.
And
It was always embarrassing for me because, people knew that, because living in a small town, they knew who my grandmother was. So it was like, she'd always be like, oh, and you're like, oh, grandma, you're like embarrassing the shit out of me right now. But, grow up, you're like, oh man,
but
how
like
much,
me and you, we grew up in small towns, so
yeah,
we're used to that shit. You
yeah.
know,
Like even my uncle's mother-in-law worked there too. So it was like, that weird raw, family type shit. They'd be like, ah. But in the end, I got extra. I got extra food out of everybody else. That's what's great about having family working at some places. Like, Grandma, can I get another slice of pizza? Yeah, I'll save you an extra slice. You're like, sweet. I get an extra slice after school.
hell yeah. You know, that's one of the things I love. Not talking about school, but like my mom worked at a grocery store, right? Growing up, dude, they had the best fucking deli, man. And I could just go, do a little smile to the women working there. Dude, I got all the free cookies I ever wanted.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know, I was like, hell yeah. I was like, now I know how this shit works now. Get a little smile
yeah.
to the ladies. Okay.
That's and that's what's funny about us sitting here talking about cooking is that men, and this is where what you Rocky you talk about, men can walk away because we can do everything that there is. We can't. The only thing we can't do is
Reproduce.
yeah. Well, we can't carry a baby.
Yeah.
We
I
can't
mean, we
carry a
can
baby.
reproduce. We're just the ones putting it in the ladies.
We can't hold life and sustain it in ourselves. That's the key element. Like we said, before, is that women do have that caring and maternal instinct. Why the fuck do you think women as nurses are the best nurses? I'm not saying they're all perfect. I'm just saying that, women instinctively have that maternal instinct to take care of people. My wife does the same thing. She's held people's hand when they've died because their people, family aren't there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
seen more than one of them.
And I'll agree with that one, with that statement right there. Because some of the best nurses I ever had, go to the birth room or whatever, right? Dude, was the females. The male nurses was fucking, they're assholes. I got into it one time with a male nurse at the VA. This motherfucker, I told him, I said, do not take my blood right now because I was, lightheaded anyways. He's like,
Yeah.
well, we got to take your blood. I said, no, you're not, motherfucker. And he called me an asshole. And I was going to get up out of that chair. If my wife wasn't there at the time, I was going to fucking take my cane and I was going to shove it sideways up his fucking ass.
Yeah.
And then here comes this nurse that knew me from high school. And she was, Jason, just calm the fuck down, you know. And she was very good. If she got my blood taken, no problem.
Yeah.
The male nurses, they're asses. Women nurses, I got all respect in the world for them. Not the male ones. No.
I had one good male nurse. He was an ensign when I was a chief and I was coming out of surgery for my colon stuff.
Oh, your stomach? Yeah.
And because I was a chief at the time and he was, younger, his dad was a master chief. So like he started venting to me. So I'm like sitting in the bed, like laid up, kissing her in and shit. And he's like venting at me and he's like, I'm so sorry, chief. I didn't know who else to talk to. And I'm like, dude, you're fine. Like, he's like, are you ready to take out your catheter? And I'm like, yes, let's do this. And he's like,
that, that is something that like has stuck with me since the Navy and everything. Like I've had numerous people vent to me. Like they lay out all their problems. Even my chief buddies on the ship. Like I had one chief buddy, he just unloaded like a half hour, didn't stop talking. And he just gave it to me. And I said, bro, I understand. I feel bad for you. What can I do to help you? He's like, thanks, man. He didn't want to put all that negativity on me, but hey, it helped him, right? It
Yeah.
helped him so he didn't go and do something stupid or
Yeah.
something bad. And, you know, I think that's part of what's lost right now is people don't know how to vent, or people take venting as a tax all the time. And, you know, even with my kids, like I had a talk with my kids the other day about venting. Like, hey, I was in the Navy for 24 years. By 1999, they put me in a leadership position, or early 2000 or 1999, when I made second class, they put me in a position to be in charge of people. So I heard a lot of people's problems and gripes from that time forth.
Yep.
So from the year 2000 to the year 2021, I heard people.
Yep.
So it was normal for me, but I didn't go. The problem was is I never vented to anyone else. And I needed someone that I could talk to, because we all need somebody to talk to that's not going to just fuck us, just use our gripes or our problems against each other. 'Cause that's going to just create more problems and more destruction. I don't know why I got on that. That was one at the tangent. ADD, I guess. I don't know.
But
Look,
I mean, me and you, we can
Yeah.
vent to one another like I can vent to Lil Tate, right?
Yeah,
And vice versa. All that bullshit.
because you need that. You absolutely need that.
And that's one of the reasons why me and Lil Tate, we wanted to came up with this idea to start something like this.
I
Right
think
here.
it's a genius idea. I mean, I don't know how big it's going to grow, but I mean, I wanted to do a podcast before that. I just didn't know how to do it, and I didn't want to do
hell,
it by
we didn't
myself.
either. We just, I mean, me and Lil Tate, we came up with the idea in September, right? You know, and dude, it took us months trying to figure out the OBS, fucking all that bullshit, right? Try and get us, since we're all different locations, you know,
Yeah.
across the country. And I said, fuck it, we're just going to do Zoom. Fuck it, be done with it. You know?
Yeah,
Here
no,
we are now. You know?
everybody gets like, you know, venting. I think true venting gets it gets a bad name because venting has always seemed like it's negative, right? But it's not so negative. It's just things that have been built up, like normal work days, dealing with like the captain, the XO, upper chain of command. Like everybody has to hold that shit in, and you got to hold your tongue, and then have nobody to go to.
Yep.
And you know, for all of us that have been in, you know, for years. I mean, Gilly, you were in for years too. Like
I did 8 years. You guys did fucking 24. Come on now.
Yeah, in
I mean,
8
I did a small amount compared to what you guys did.
Well, and you still dealt with that. Like you still, you know, no matter how many years you spent, it's still the same. It's just the amount of time that me and Rocky were in. We just it's the same amount. You know what I mean? Like it could be 8 years, be 24 years. You're still
Yeah, but weren't you in a leadership position when you put a crow on?
I became one.
I know you were in a leadership position before that because you were part of the ETT. But Jay, weren't you? You were a leader too, right?
Lil Tate, you took my spot when I left for go to C school, didn't you?
Yeah, because I was an E3 and just made E4, so I had positional authority as an E3 to train people, and that's a lot for somebody as young as I was to teach people older than I was that thought they knew everything. So adversity, like the guys going through the Doge shit right now are in the same position.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because I remember, I mean, when Saldivar left, made one, or when he was leaving, I took over for him. You know, and then you take over for me when I left, made one, go C school. You know, because I know a lot of people also didn't like you being as a fireman on the ETT. A lot of people did. You know, and I always took up for you. I'm like, motherfucker, this motherfucker did his job. He learned his job. I said, what the fuck have you done? Nothing.
Yeah. And that's why I agree with these guys. Like we talked, you know, the other night or last night, you know, the view that veterans have is because all of us have been put in these situations, you know, off topic of Super Bowl, like we were talking about.
But still.
We went on the sidebar, but you know, everybody in the military will get put in a position of leadership, unless you're a true shitbag, like you're a fucking soup sandwich. But you will be in charge of people at whatever rank, depending on your capacity. Like that's why I love these Doge guys. It's because fuck you old motherfuckers, get out of my way. The same way that we trailblazed back during our time. So it's their turn. Generation, their turn. It skipped a generation. Fuck the millennials, right? And now you got these guys. Well, are they millennials or are they Gen Alpha? Fuck, I can't remember the years now.
Well,
They're millennials and probably Gen Alpha. I don't know.
I know my son's in his early 20s, in the same way these guys are. They're fucking roasting these people, and that's what you need, a fresh look.
Shit, dude, not to get political, but how much fucking stupid money has been wasted and stolen from us and given and put into politicians' hands who do nothing for anybody but take our money. Or we give it away to the dumbest fucking causes known to fucking man.
And to anybody bitching about that, need to shut the fuck up, in my opinion.
It would prove, if you're mad that that's happening, it's because you're guilty and you're stealing money, and you should automatically be a suspect. Like, to me, that's established probable cause. Probable cause for search and seizure, to question, to read their rights, and all that stuff. Mirandize them, man. You have the right to remain silent. You have all this stuff.
And I think one of the hardest things,
fucking lawyer, and you better tell the truth. Because if you don't tell the truth, we're gonna fry your ass.
But I do think one of the hardest things for veterans when they get out that have been put in leadership at an early age, right, is they got to start all over again.
Yeah, that's true. I
had to do that. I did. When I got out, I didn't get a job at the power plant right away, right? Okay, that's fine. I had to take another job working at the factory for Orscheln's, right? I was making oil dipsticks for Cummins, Bluebird, all the big guys, diesels. Within a few months, I was actually worked, lead man on second shift after a few months there, because no one else wanted it. No one else wanted to do it. And they're like, Jason, they came to me, they said, Jason, we know you got supervisor experience in the Navy. I said, yeah, you want to do this? I said, yeah, I'll do it. Now, some people didn't like the way I fucking ran shit because I called people out on stuff, But I think that's the hardest thing for veterans when they get out, is the fact that we're always put in a fucking leadership position, right? The ones who actually do good. And then when we get out, we don't have that no more. It's not, to me, it's not a power thing. It's like job, employers look at our credentials like, oh, you're overqualified, blah, blah, blah. Because I ran that same bullshit right there, because I had,
everybody runs into that bullshit. I've heard it from so many guys that even myself, like, I wanted to be a janitor. I was like, I'll clean bathrooms and shit. I just want to hang out, make a little bit of money, swab some shit like a fireman. They're like, oh, you're overqualified for that. You should be a manager because of your experience. Like, fuck, man. I just want to do something simple.
I ran that same thing when I applied at the power plant, right? Because I had a janitor open, auxiliary operator, coal yard open, right? I applied for all of them. And the HR guy goes, dude, you're overqualified for being a janitor. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care. I just put my foot in the door. I said, you'll have the cleanest shitters that you've ever fucking seen. I said, you'll be able to eat off these motherfuckers right here.
Yeah. Like being part of the Nasty Nine in boot camp, where you're out there using toothbrushes to clean the tiles and shit.
Us veterans, we don't care if it's a good job and it pays great, with great benefits. We don't care. We just want our foot in the door. We don't care what the fuck it is.
I thought about that stuff as I was getting out, and it was, I didn't want to get a job in AT or anything like that, anti-terrorism force protection. I didn't want to become a base ATO. I probably could have done that. But that shit's fucking stressful. And I didn't want to do a stressful job. And, Heidi was like, hey, can I quit my job? We'll get a taco truck and we'll do a food truck business. I'm like, okay, yeah. And that's what we did when I got out, right? And we're still doing it now. We're not going to do it forever, but we're going to do it for a little while longer. But I like being my own freaking boss. That's what I like. I like that I don't have to answer to no one else.
And that was the key thing. Like when you became, like when we became, well, at least for me, making chief, I finally got out of that boot where other first classes could stab me in the back trying to make rank, trying to make chief. And you finally get out of that boot, and it's like, okay, now it's my turn to enact the things that should have been done. Like what's going on. It's like, I know I've been wanting to not impose, but enact these leadership styles, and I couldn't, and then now I can. And that goes back to what Gilly's saying. That's kind of hard because you learn that shit, and you get to a company, and you're like, what the fuck is going on around here? How in the fuck is this place even running with the way that you're running it? Like, we run into that. I know we run into that problem for efficiency because that's the way we were trained. Efficiency, accountability, and moving forward. I had that when I was working for a company. I won't name it, but they were all fucking over the place.
Yep.
And it was very frustrating to work for this company. And it's a very large corporation, put it that way. And it was just all over the fucking place, man. All over.
I read the same thing when I got on the power plant, right? I was just happy to be there because on your first 6 months, you're on probation, right? Before you join the union, right?
Right.
I was working with these guys. I mean, people that I've known since I was a little kid, right? I mean, they was, 10 years older than me. And I was like, dude, we get a job done? I go right to the supervisor. Right? Okay, what else you got? I tell them one time, they chewed my ass out. Like, motherfucker, don't not do that ever again. So it took me a while to figure out how the power plant actually worked, right? The structure was, right? And I was like, yep.
Game finally started. Let's go, Don!
Go Chiefs!
Go, Philly!
Well, being that the game's about to start, you think we should just sign off now, guys?
Well, hey, you got the Facebook page for the
I found it on TikTok. Let me find it on TikTok.
I would like
my wife sent me it to this morning on TikTok, and I emailed it to myself.
And then do we have one member we wanted to bring up that has passed from the fight?
The recent one, Brandon Harper.
Yeah.
He's the most recent one and died of cancer.
Brandon Harper, do we have his rate and rank?
I had to look back. I think I can't remember, he was topsider, but I don't remember if he was STG or what.
He was an STG.
Okay. He was a
great dude. I'm finding that.
Great dude.
All right. Well, we'll give him a moment of silence really quick for somebody that was served with us.
Yep.
If everybody's here watching, a few moments.
We miss you, Brandon. Fair winds and fallen seas, bro.
We'll see you again, David Jones Locker, brother.
Yes, sir. We sure will. All right, Rock, you got the.
I'm searching it right now. Give me a sec, bro, and I'll share it when I get it. I'm gonna go to the page, and
these guys are working on veterans. We know Wounded Warriors, but this one in particular, I don't know if anybody's seen this. I got this sent to me from my brother that actually brought him to tears watching it.
So here it is right here, fellas, everybody. So we've talked about this in past podcasts where we talked about if you need help, contact us, let us know. We'll do what we can to help you. Here's another resource for you guys to help if you have access to the internet or phone. It's on TikTok if you have TikTok. And they also have a website right here called battlebuddyresponseteam.org. So before anybody makes a decision that's going to be a permanent decision to a temporary solution, contact these guys. Contact us. We will try to help you out. I don't care if it's 3:00 in the fucking morning. I don't care if it's 2:30 in the morning. I don't care if it's 5 in the morning. I don't care if it's midnight. Contact me. Contact anybody so that you get the help that you need. Enough said on that. You guys got anything to add?
Well, unless you want to close us out with a sermon.
Well, let me see. What's a good topic? Let me find a verse. Well, Since it's all about accountability right now, people are being held accountable. Let me find a verse about accountability real fast.
Something to save the Chiefs from getting whooped by the Eagles.
Oh, please, come on now. We're going to clip those Eagles' wings again, like we did last time in Super Bowl.
All
Oh,
right.
it's a floater. Oh, there it is. All the way down.
But you know
All
what's
right, here-
crazy, right? Jason Kelsey is not fucking playing in this one. So,
Close it out, Rocky.
All right, so here's the verse. It's Matthew chapter 12, verses 36, 37. And I'm pretty sure it's Jesus Christ. But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by the words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. So think about what's going on right now. There's a lot of words being thrown out, and then everyone's also looking at the actions. So accountability is happening on this realm, but wait till the real accountability comes. That's when it gets real scary because you can't escape that one. And that's all I got for you guys. Let me
Yes, sir.
stop sharing. There we go. All right. And from the Fifers, fair winds and following seas, and we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. Peace out.
and how about them Chiefs?
The Chiefs. Aye, the Chiefs.